Hey guys, welcome to Chris's Corner.
Still Carly's Corner, babe.
No, I think.
Still Carly's Corner. So today is the 1-year anniversary of our wedding, October 3rd. We got married October 3rd, 2015. So I thought it would be fun today, instead of just sitting down and talking about our wedding day, I asked if you had any questions for us. We got a lot of really great questions. And I also thought it would be fun to start off the video with a little bit of a rapid fire fill in the blank.
I can't drink?
You can't drink your big yellow Gatorade in the middle of a video. Can you at least get a pretty cute mug to drink it out of?
What if Gatorade wants to sponsor us?
What if they don't? Does Gatorade, would you like to sponsor us?
This
Put this away.
thirst quenching drink helps me get through my day.
Get a mug.
Gatorade is awesome.
Alright. We got married in Malibu up in the hills. It was a beautiful day.
Perfect day.
I was sick as a dog. I had the flu. I got the flu a couple days before the wedding. It was horrible. I was on like Sudafed and everything that you could name to try but I pulled through. Like, I had an amazing wedding. I remember that I was sick because it's a funny story. Oh my god, I was so sick, but I was better for the honeymoon. Like, I was over it for the honeymoon, which was great.
I mean, for me it was a quick day.
It's memorable, but it's not. It's like a hazy memory.
Exactly. You're like, oh yeah, I remember we did all get into a big
it's like you watched
passenger van and yeah, exactly.
It's like watching a movie.
Exactly.
Now we're gonna do the rapid fire fill in the blank. Thank you guys so much for sending in stuff for us to do. I asked on Instagram and Twitter. If you are not following us on Instagram,
I don't do it.
He doesn't do Instagram or Twitter.
Yeah.
If you're not following me on Instagram or Twitter, make sure you do that, because you'll get fun things to answer like this, fun things to give us like this. All right, number 1, our wedding was blank.
Magical.
Amazing. Magical? Is that like your go-to word for everything? If you guys haven't seen our engagement story video, make sure you check that out. The wedding day was magical. I'm magical. It's all magical.
Magic.
Right. The cake was sweet.
Delicious.
Very sweet. We didn't eat the cake.
I had a piece of the cake.
So
we took a bite of the cake.
We fed each other the cake.
Yeah, it was delicious.
And all I remember is everybody says at a wedding that you don't eat, and it's, in my opinion, not because you don't have time. I thought, oh, I'm for sure gonna eat. That's BS. I'm gonna eat. And it wasn't that I didn't have time. I had time. The food was in front of me. It was just, I think, a mix of the excitement of the day and also all of the cold medication I was on.
Yes, yes.
Our guests were
amazing.
Fun. Yeah, they were everything. All of our family and friends were there, and they were so supportive and loving and happy, the joy on their faces. And table 5? The table 5 or table 7, but we had a table at our wedding.
They made the speeches.
They made a drinking game out of any time someone said the word love or togetherness or whatever during the speeches. So randomly during the speeches, that you would hear them cheersing and drinking. His groomsmen picked up on that and then made a speech composed entirely of those words. It was great. The honeymoon was perfect. Is that
not planned? Not planned.
It was just, we went to Aruba, in case you guys didn't know. We've talked about it before, but drink out of your Aruba mug, babe.
Oh, yeah. It's delicious Gatorade.
And Aruba.
Perfect.
We loved you, Aruba.
2 thumbs up.
The weather was blank. Perfect.
It was though. It was October 3rd in Malibu, like probably a high of like 84 or something. It was just perfect. Like you couldn't get anything better.
It was a clear, warm day. It was warm into the evening, and I was a little bit nervous because even though the beginning of October here is it's a
gamble. It could be raining or it could be
like the year previous. It's when we had our engagement party, and it was 106 degrees. It was
miserable.
So hot. And then I believe like a couple days after our wedding, it rained or something. So
I'm tapping with my feet, and I like did 2 taps, and she immediately put her foot on top of mine and gave me that look.
Now you're gonna start the Q&A portion. I just didn't want to ramble on about our wedding. I wanted to know what you guys wanted to know specifically, so let's get started. Our first question is from Will and Macy, and they asked, how many people were at your wedding and what time of day was it?
We had like 97 people at the wedding.
And the wedding took place at 6 p.m. Yeah, we would have done it earlier. The venue we picked was very, very strict with their hours and what time you could set up and all of that stuff. So we were kind of tied to that at the venue. But it ended up being a really great time.
Oh, it worked out perfect.
The next question is also from Will and Macy, and they asked, if you could do it over again, what one thing would you change?
That's a good question. I don't know what I would change.
Can I change that I wouldn't be sick? Like, can I?
I would change that, yeah.
That's the only thing.
I would change that, or I would change the 4 people that couldn't make it would be there.
Yeah. This question is from Becca from the Vlogging Murrays. She asked, oh, there's lots of questions. Okay, the first one is, did you do the traditional something blue, something borrowed deal? So kind of and not really. Going into the wedding, no, I didn't think to do that. But then my mom gave me these 2 handkerchiefs on the wedding day, and this one has some blue in it, and she said I could borrow it. And then this one is also something old that she gave me. It's another family handkerchief that my mom sewed a bead from her wedding dress onto. So she gave me these gifts, and I think I tucked this into my boob. The next question is, were either of you nervous beforehand, and about what?
I mean, nervous, yes, but not about like
anything.
I mean, like I was nervous about the first dance, you know, with having everyone kind of look at us. I was nervous about, I don't know, you know, I don't know.
I was like, yeah, same thing, exact same answer. I was nervous to walk down the aisle. What if I trip? Everyone's gonna be looking at me.
I was nervous for those like, you know, 30 seconds where I was up there by myself because my brother was my best man, so he was actually walking down the aisle. And I was just kind of up there with 100 people staring at me.
Next question from Becca was, what was your first dance song?
It was, well, I'm horrible with song names, but it's the Armageddon song.
It's Don't Wanna Miss a Thing by Aerosmith. And funny enough, I think for years before we even got engaged, we would just talk about songs that we thought would be good first dance songs, and that was one we had mentioned, and Kiss from a Rose by Seal we had mentioned. And then when it came time to pick songs, I don't know, we kind of were like, nah, not those, and we were searching and searching for songs, and we ended up circling back to Don't Wanna Miss a Thing. So I think it's cool that we danced to that, and we had talked about it years prior. Oh, hey, y'all. Sorry, Becca. What did y'all disagree on most when planning the big day?
Well, I think I did a good job of avoiding disagreements and agreeing. I'd say the thing we disagreed the most on, and maybe not disagreed, but the thing we were kind of, was maybe the rehearsal lunch or the rehearsal dinner, right? I'd say that maybe got a little,
it was so
a little like, no, I think this way, no, I think this, yeah.
It was so close to the wedding that I think I remember having a complete mental breakdown over the rehearsal dinner and sobbing for 30 minutes in the bathroom.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Most importantly, what was that cake like?
The cake was amazing. The cake testing was fun too.
The cake testing was very fun. The thing is that Chris is very like simple with his cake flavors. He likes chocolate cake, he likes vanilla cake.
That's pretty much it.
That's it.
It's like a marble, like a mix.
So when we went to do the cake shopping, red velvet, lemon, coconut, all of those fun different flavors, I ate by myself and I knew that they were off the table. So pretty much when we did cake testing, it was to taste the chocolate, and I didn't really want chocolate cake at the wedding. I don't know, I thought more like vanilla was better anyway. So I knew we wanted vanilla with white frosting. So it was just kind of, we tested out 2 bakeries and it was which one had the yummier vanilla cake.
It was just 2 fun mornings.
All right, now we got a 3-parter from the Little Tuckets. Galen asked, what was your favorite memory of that day? I don't remember the day very much.
I don't know.
The memory that stands out in my head is being up in the bridal room with my dad, waiting to walk down the aisle, and we were looking down over the deck and the walkway, and I was watching Chris and my mom walk down, and then Joy and Joseph walk down, and I was watching everybody, and I was listening to the song that everyone walked down the aisle to, which was Forever by the Beach Boys, which, like, that song gets me and has for so many years. And yeah, I just remember looking down and watching everybody and saying to my dad, I love all these people so much. So that was probably my favorite memory.
I don't know, like my dad came in before the whole wedding, or you know, while we were getting ready, and he like asked my brother and my groomsmen to get out of the room for a second. Him and I just kind of had like a really cool chat, and you know, that was fun, definitely memorable.
I want to know what he said.
I mean, watching Carly walk down the aisle though was definitely something I'll never forget. Like, that was special.
The second part of the question was, what song did you walk down the aisle to? Chris and the bridal party all walked down the aisle to Forever by the Beach Boys, and then I walked down the aisle to a guitar rendition of Papa Bell's Cannon. And her next question was, what was the flavor of the cake?
Vanilla.
Vanilla. Here's a picture of our cake. It was, the technique was called a rustic buttercream. It was just because our whole vibe was like a rustic
Ranchy,
wedding. Yeah. All right, the next question is from Paper Angel Vlogs, and she asked, what is your favorite picture from the wedding and why?
Well, my favorite picture, I guess I have 3 favorite pictures, but my favorite one of the 3 would be the one of, well, it's right after the ceremony, and it's Carly, myself, and our bridal parties, my dad, her parents, and we're all just cheersing. We all just have a glass of champagne or a beer, and we're just clinking glasses. There's a cool one of me and my groomsmen on the roof of the hotel that we got ready at, and it's kind of a Reservoir Dog shot, and black and white with our shadows in front. That's a pretty cool shot. I definitely like that one.
I picked the one of my dad and I did a first look. Chris and I did a first look. I don't know, the pictures didn't really capture it the way that the memory captures it. So, but I did a first look with my dad as well, and this picture is one of my favorites just because the look on his face and the way we're embracing, it's really special.
It's a special moment.
And then the other one I picked right after, actually there's a series of 2 or 3 of them. It's us walking down the aisle after we got married. I mean, I just look like a dork the whole time because I'm smiling so hard that it's just really not attractive in my opinion. But Chris's look on his face, like in each of those photos, it is just pure happiness. Like, he just looks like chest pumped up, like smile on his face. He's like, I did it, I just got married. And I just love those I just love the look on his face in those photos. All right, we have one more from Galen from the Little Tuckets, and she asked, what is your #1 piece of advice for anyone getting married?
Ooh, I don't know, man, like weddings are so, I feel like weddings are so individual that it all depends on you, but I would just say make your wedding you. You know, if it's something, don't do a traditional, you know, if you're not a traditional person, don't do a traditional wedding. You know, be yourself in your wedding. We definitely pick stuff that, you know, when we were doing our playlist for songs, you know, they were like, you know, let's get some more poppier stuff, and it's like, no, this is what we like, and like oldies, you know, like it wasn't the like, you know, Taylor Swift was playing every other song, but definitely be yourself and do what you want at your wedding. That's my advice. That's
great advice. And mine would be, do your research on vendors, meet with a couple, and do it early. That's the key thing, because we got amazing vendors, and I just went on Wedding Wire or The Knot or something like that, and I just read some wedding reviews. I looked for like lower budget, more affordable, and then I would just send out emails and say like, give me a price quote, and if they'd come back too high, I'd move on. And so I found a couple that were like a couple photographers, a couple cake places, a couple DJs that were affordable in our range. Affordable, nothing wedding related is affordable,
No.
but that were in like a range that we felt was acceptable. We set up appointments to meet with them. We met with usually about 2 people and then would make our decision. And because it was so early, these people were available. We got a DJ in the amateur like category, but he was like in that highest category, like he was the best in his category, like about to change over to the more expensive one. And because we found the place so early, he was still available. So it's just about early locking in those vendors.
I mean, like our photographers, once we sent them the final bill, they actually asked us to resend them the contract, because in the time that we had booked them to our wedding, they had blown up and doubled their prices essentially. So definitely
find them early and lock them in.
Yeah, find them early, and yeah, that's definitely good advice.
And find what's important to you and focus on that. Like for us, it was the energy of our wedding day was important to us. We wanted to be surrounded by people that were going to provide a fun, calming energy, especially because I can get stressed out very easily. And so especially when we were looking for photographers that would be with us while we're getting ready and leading, like in all these very important moments, they'd be with us. We wanted somebody whose energy really vibed well with us. So that's our advice. And then the last question is from Brittany from the Sanzos, and she asked, do you feel your relationship has changed since being married?
Yes, but not like only for the good. I mean, it's just one of those where, God, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, you grow with a person, you know, when you grow with a person, you change with a person. And so of course our relationship has changed since getting married, but
because it's been a year, another year.
Yeah, but our relationship when we were dating changed every year, you know, and I expect our marriage to continue to change.
Yeah, and this is gonna be different depending on what your relationship was like prior to marriage. We lived together already. We moved in together after we'd been dating for like a year and a couple months. So we lived together for like 4 years before our wedding. So we'd already got through, because let me tell you, in my experience, moving in together with someone, that's the biggest change, not marriage. Moving in with somebody, you're having to get to know and deal with a host of changes and getting to see somebody all the time, and it's just that's different. So if you are getting married and moving in together for the first time, then yes, I would say that would probably change a great deal.
Oh, definitely.
That's like I said, that we had already been living together for 4 years, and we purchased our home during our engagement.
It's a crazy 12 months.
Just great decisions. I mean, it was a great decision, but it was a crazy 12 months. So we had even purchased our home. So we lived in our home, in our house that we owned together, that we co-owned. And we got married and came home to our house that we lived in already with our 2 cats our children that we already had in our relationship. So no, things didn't change like that, but I do feel a deeper sense of commitment. Like it.
Oh yeah.
Like yeah, I don't know how to explain it. It just feels more solid.
No, I completely agree. Completely agree. Yeah, you do have a curfew. That's true.
Says who? I don't just go to bed without you. I hope that was a fun video. I thought that would be maybe a little bit more fun than just sitting down and talking about our wedding day. But like I said, if you have any questions about our wedding day or our wedding or
just life in general,
just anything, we're here to answer your questions.
She's here. I'll come in sometimes and
He'll just come in and be like, hey, let me answer that question. All right, bye. So don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and we'll see you in our next one. Bye guys.